Hello and welcome back to the Linux Panic YouTube channel. We are going to install Ubuntu 23.04 Lunar Lobster and install Wine on it. So, let's get into it. You're probably wondering, why do I want to install Wine on Ubuntu? Well, this is so you can run Windows software and other... so you can run Windows software on Linux. In this case, Wine, Ubuntu, without any hassle. Now, we're going to be installing the developmental versions of Wine, and at the current moment the developmental version is 8.12, which was released earlier on today, as we can see here. Today at 6, and I have updated my GitHub repository with the new install scripts. So I will leave a link to the GitHub repositories in the description below. So as we can see here, Lunar Lobster. This is part of Canonical's naming scheme for Ubuntu versions. So now we just got to wait for this to prepare for installing. I've not yet attempted to install Lunar Lobster, so this is my first time seeing it as well. So it's just sitting and waiting. This is a virtual machine through Virt Manager. This is running with 8 gigs of RAM and 2 cores. Oof, that did not sound like a happy bunny. As we can see, it's not exactly happy. We will go for installing of Ubuntu English UK. You'd think they'd be able to recognise that based off the time, although that time's not right either. Use a wide connection. So this now actually gives you the option for, I don't want to connect the internet right now, so this is new in the installer, and I wasn't there previously. We are going to be just doing a minimal installation because this is for a video and I don't want this to be taking an absolute age. So that's what I'm doing that for. As we can see here, it's going to create a partition video 1 and video 2, and video 2 will be formatted in the ext4 file system type used for the root directory. So yes, we're in London, England. This name will just be Wine8. And that's how you can tell it's virtual machine, standard PC. Again, just Wine8. Yes, I would like to make sure my passwords match. There we go. Do not require that. We will not be using Active Directory. We will be using dark mode. I gotta say that it's nice that it actually asks for it, and there's a pause option. I'm not sure why you'd want a pause option. It's now also scrollable bits of information. So as we can see here, we just now have to sit and wait for this to be done. So we will return once it is done. So now that we have Ubuntu installed, it took 20 minutes to install. We want to restart. Now what this will do, just do the usual restart, make sure everything's all sorted out ready. As we can see here, Virt Manager, booting from hard disk. No suitable video mode found. That is Ubuntu for us. There we go. So it was just having a small issue with itself, which is to be expected that I have to run the system for the first time round. So now we just got to wait for this to finish launching. Now, with my Wine scripts, they should work on your system because they include everything that you need to run it. They are also all commented to describe what each and every one of the steps does. So if you do decide to look at it, you can know that nothing's funky is going on, nothing like that. It will just work. I'm taking a Todd Howard here and saying it just works, because it actually does just work. Unlike Ubuntu here, which is taking its time, which again is not really surprising. So here we go. I have to change up a couple things first. No, skip. Don't send system information because you've already done the first report. I don't like that. No. Go away. Right. New balance. Yeah, that's just that's just a redundant feature on desktop. Well, sorry, on PCs and not laptops. So we will get where is 1920 by 1080? There we go. Much better, much better. So, first thing we do is install NeoFetch. That's the law. Sudo apt install NeoFetch. Yes. Now, we will then run this, see how it's doing, and then see what we get as standard with our Ubuntu install, and then we will go through the process of installing Wine. NeoFetch. There we go, that's working. So, as standard, we get 1,588 dpkg and 9 snap packages. Of course, there are some there for NeoFetch. But anyways, so what we want to do is we want to increase the size of this, clear the screen, and check if we have git installed, which we should. We do not, so sudo apt install git. Yes, as of course, it's not installed as standard when it realistically should be. That's just my opinion. So we want to do git clone https github.com/nickmatthews-1/wine bleeding edge. Now what this has is all of my bleeding edge install scripts, so we'll be installing the bleeding edge versions here. But of course there will also be a stable version by the time this video goes up. So cd into wine bleeding edge, and as we can see here, we have a load of scripts and some deb files. But because we're using Lunar Lobster, we only want W8U23-devl or .sh. I can see I've made a small error there, so that will also be fixed because that should not be a space there. But we will do the development. So we need to move that first. So move W8U23-devl to W8U23-devl.sh, and we want to do chmod +x Wine8 Ubuntu23 development.sh. And what that does is it then changes the modifier to executable, and we can then just give it a quick check with U8W23devel. And this is what's here. It's just going through the process of saying that everything's here. So I do need to change that because I used a previous install script to just make sure it would be done correctly. But now everything's running. We just do sudo /w8devel. And what this will do is I'll now go through, get everything it needs to run, and then install it. Now, of course, it will then go, hey, look, this, because in this install script, it also updates your system at the same time. Meaning that once wine has been installed, it updates your system, gets any updates you might have waiting and pending for you, so you then don't have to manually do it. It's just nice to have a little bonus thing in there for you. So now we just need to wait for us to finish off. There was Cup browser that got updated, and here we are. So wait for yes. We will return once Ubuntu is finished updating, because even though it has just been installed, there were no updates installed apparently. So now that we have finally got all of our updates installed, we can test to see if wine is installed with just a simple wine -- version. And as we can see, we have Wine 8.11 installed. Now, as we saw earlier, Wine 8.2 to 8.12 is the latest, which means that WineHQ has not yet released the binaries, because as it says here, source is available, but the binaries are in the process. That's expected. But we have this version of Wine installed, which gave more mouse cursor clipping improvements, support for TLS alerts, increased available address space in WoW64 mode, and various bug fixes. So let's get a bit of software to test this. Now, there are many things we could go for, but in this case, we will just go for a Chrome exe. So Chrome exe download. I'm probably wondering why Chrome. There's a Linux version for it. Well, why not? We'll go with the Chrome version. We'll go with the Chrome exe, download Chrome, As we can see here, there's various sources. It's various Unixes, but we don't want that. We wish for a Chrome exe, please, Google. Thank you. And we will get it from up to down because Google won't give us the one we want. Download for free. I would be using Opera GX if Opera GX had a Linux version, but it does not. So unfortunately, no Opera GX for us. The reason why I prefer Opera GX is because of the clicky clacky when you're typing. No, or Ubuntu, no. So again, we wait for this to install. You're probably wondering, well, why is it taking so long? Their servers, not mine. Not my connection. So with this, we get a few options. Now, upon using a bit of Windows software for the first time with a new Wine installation, it's going to say, I need new things downloaded. Which is expected the first time around because it's new. There's a lot. So as we can see here, open with Wine Windows Program Loader, which is what we'll do. And we'll get the Wine is being configured and creating a new thing. Wine could not find the Wine mono package, which is needed for .NET applications. That also happens the first time around. Or if you use a bit of software that requires something else, and it'll say, hey, look, I don't have the thing I need installed. And then it'll say, download me, please. And we'll go through. It just automatically downloads it when you say, yes, download the download. Do the do. So, hopefully, providing that this is not going to absolutely... There we go. As we can see here, we have Chrome installing straight off the bat. This is the Windows executable running on Ubuntu, even though there is the Ubuntu version via the deb package or a RPM package, but we're not because we're using this one. Now we just got to wait for this to catch up, but there it is. It's working, which is what we wanted to get done. As we can see, connects to the internet, downloading, waiting to install. See, it's getting through. It's not going to take too much longer. So, I would like to thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. You may only be able to see one of them functional, but I can see both and I can tell if you like it or not. So tell me. If you made it this far, maybe consider subscribing as well and ringing the notification bell. We are incredibly close to 1,000 subscribers, which I still can't quite believe. Yeah, that's amazing to me. But anyway, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I have been Nick. You have been amazing. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.